The other part you want to do is you want to keep track. And a great way to do that is with a spreadsheet. That's my personal favorite way of doing it. I can show you guys how to do that. But it allows you to track your expenses and your savings monthly. And if Microsoft Excel is kind of daunting, if it's a program that doesn't really feel comfortable for you guys, there's a lot of really user-friendly apps out there that can really kind of help you do the same thing. There's programs and things like that. But it's simpler than that. It's really easy to create. The idea is just to do 3 simple things, which is track your income, see how much money is coming in, track your expenses, how much money you're spending, and then plan for the future. And if you want that even more simply put, take your income, okay, whatever amount it is, subtract your expenses, and see what's left over. That's what you are planning your future with. You're taking it and you're putting it into the next thing. And at the end of each month, you should have something left over. That's the idea, and where you can turn around, save, and invest. And ideally, you're saving the maximum amount possible because, again, that gets us to our goals that much quicker. Making a budget allows you to see how much you need to save each month to make your goals. So remember when we sat down and we put our goals together of like, hey, by this age, I'd like to retire, and this is how much money I'd like to have at that point. Go ahead and start with that goal and find out the timeline that you need to do it. And one of the great ways of doing this is, if you are investing, is there's these things called compound interest calculators. You can find them on the internet. Just Google that in there and you'll see one. And it'll show you how much you need to invest every single month to get to that goal in that amount of time. A little bit more complicated, but with real estate, again, with our goals that we set down, you can sit down and plan when you intend to buy a home, when you want to start renting it out, a few years once it's gotten to the point where you can rent it out for more than what the mortgage costs, and then start planning on purchasing the next. So a budget is not just like, hey, here's what's going on. It's also a big part of figuring out, here's what I'm going to do 5 years from now. Here's what I'm going to do 10 years from now. So once you know how much you're going to save every month, your budget then becomes concrete. You know that what you've got and what you can spend, and it helps you to not spend over what you have allotted. One thing I encourage you to do on that, if you're probably doing this already, but make sure to set aside money automatically to invest for yourself, just a little bit that's left over, before you even pay for other things. Obviously, you have your obligations, things you need to do. And if you have any kind of debt, you want to eliminate that first, get rid of that. But your priority here, again, is saving your money, and saving and investing. And so what I encourage folks to do is, once they've really eliminated that high interest debt, those things like that, make sure you're taking out money for those investments before all your other expenses. Make it non-negotiable. Make it a habit that this is just the way I do it. It's every month I'm taking out the amount that I set up on my goal that I'm going to do to get to where I'm going to go. Another thing that's nice to do is to make recurring payments. And I don't mean like payments on something because you bought it on credit and you have to make a payment. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I don't want you to do that. That's the antithesis. But if you have something that you have to always, put money into every month, you don't have a choice not to, like your phone, or once you've moved into a place, your utilities, things like that, your mortgage payment. Make it so that it's automatic, so that it gets pulled out of your account right away, so you're not potentially missing one because you get hit with penalties and things like that, or increased interest if you don't make that payment on time. And these days it's almost everybody does that. They want their money too, so it's good and easy to do that. So automate those as much as you can.